All right, pick a number, Bo.
23.
23.
23.
Okay. If they created a Bomani Jones museum and upon entering into the lobby under a skylight, there was one take sitting perfectly in the center that everyone was welcomed in. It's your best, most impressive take. Which one would it be?
Wow. Okay. I would say, honestly, it would be the take that I offered in 2014 that somehow did not make that terrible television show about Donald Sterling, that we were all making a foolish mistake, that in the end, we were just here because he said something bad about Magic Johnson. That man had to pay the largest house discrimination lawsuit of all time, and nobody thought that that was racist enough. But he came out here and said some rude things when he was being taped, and now all of a sudden, everybody want to jump through the roof. I ain't never felt more like the smartest man in the world than I did that week, boy.
So you walk into the Bowmani Museum and it is a bust of Donald Sterling, and under it says, "I told you so."
Yes, gotcha. It is. Yes, it is. That is exactly what we got. All right, I'll throw another number at you. 36.
Ooh, I like this one. Who do you think is better at freestyling, Isaiah Hartenstein or Dante DiVincenzo?
Oh, Dante, no question. Absolutely no question, Dante. Dante has put in more practice. Like Big Lurch, I feel like deep down, he knows the deal. You hear his voice. He know what time it is. He ain't really got nothing to prove. And if he did have to prove it, I think he was over there in Germany. Who would they to G-check him on what it was, right? But White Dante, oh man, he done stayed having something to prove. I bet he know how to line up his, I bet White Dante know how to cut hair.
Ooh, the way that he like talks to fans makes me think that he's the kind of guy that like lets the beat play for a little bit and then just goes,
yes.
A few times. He 100% does it on car rides by himself to practice.
Frank Isola, this is so funny. Imagine Frank Isola telling you this. I saw Dante DiVincenzo somewhere wearing a hoodie, and you know what it said on it? Africa. That's the funniest thing anybody has ever told me in my life.
And you're right. Frank Isola reporting it like it's a Yankees box score makes it even better.
Yes. And you have to understand, Frank Isola may be more adjacent to the culture than a lot of you realize. But he saw that and was like, come on. Because look, he's an Isola that's a DiVincenzo. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, come on, dog. You want one more number? I'm kind of enjoying this, I have to admit.
Bro, I have so many. Like, yeah, give me another one.
3.
Phone rings. It's Kamala Harris. And she says, Bo, it's time. I need you as my running mate. Your initial inclination, is it yes? And then who do you call? And then if you do say yes, what is your big Bo strategy?
My initial inclination is to say no, because I cannot survive a vetting process. You have to make a decision. You want to live like this a long way back. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like that's the one thing about it. I would probably call my older brother and I would ask him about it, right? And I would get his answer. But I'm gonna be honest with you. There are a lot of jobs that they don't like to hire single men to do. They worry that you about to be doing the damn thing at every turn. And I'm here to tell you, I would. If you gonna give me that ridiculously stressful job, you gonna send me all over the world, I would be without question the coolest motherfucker to ever be the vice president. Like, let's get that part clear right now. America ain't never had no vice president like this one would be right here. All right. So you get me out here and you get me giving these talks and going these places. In fact, I would be, you know who my political idol would be? In fact, and it would be kind of in line with you, Lefkoe. You a Philadelphia dude. No, I would be vice president like Teddy Pendergrass. We're going to do some ladies only shows. Now, am I as sexy as Teddy Pendergrass? No. Do women like me as much as Teddy Pendergrass? Not right now. If you give me that much power, which I confidently say women are into that, you give me that much power at this place I am in, and I've been lifting weights and stuff. Oh, boy. I'd be late to work every day. every day.
Let's ask the listeners, is Bomani Jones as sexy as Teddy Pendergrast? We'll get to that in the next episode.
I want to be clear. I don't think that I know. I want to make sure they know I'm not. But Vice President Bomani Jones? Oh, man. Hold on. I think you asked what my campaign promise would be. Strategy?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Basically, I can only be vice president if we adjust them schedules. I think they're trying to move that thing off of the Schedule 1, but federal legalization would happen with me because otherwise I can't be the vice president. Like, I'd be like, you know how Trump be trying to get all this stuff done just so he can like get himself out of jail if it come down to it? That would be me. There we go. Vice President Jones. We're outside. That's right.
I like that. I also like Bomani's campaign slogan is they go low, we get high.
There you go. There you go. And I'm telling you, I think them Zoomers might be about that life. Well, see, that's the problem, man. I need to get their lazy asses to go vote. I don't even know if the Zoomers are lazy. Are they lazy? It just feels like I'm at the age where I should call them lazy.
Oh, I have moments all the time where I go, this generation, and then I stop and I go, I am crumpling under the weight of my age, and this is not okay.
Well, how about this, though? Because you're about my age. This is the second generation that I've had judgments on. Like, when people told me that the millennials, that I'm almost one of, but not, that the millennials and the Zoomers are different people, it was like, wow, I'm way out here.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm an older millennial, but the Z's, and my son is an alpha, apparently. That's what the next one is called. And I'm over here showing him, like when we hung out before, you were telling me about like Prince at Syracuse. I'm literally playing old concerts like that for him just to try and ingrain old head attitudes into him. Like people are like, does he like Mrs. Rachel? And I'm like, no, he likes Mrs. Aretha Franklin. Like, we're not doing this nonsense. I'm not doing cartoon dogs.
Let me tell you something. Young Prince is going to be a fascinating cultural hodgepodge. Like, you're going to have the world he lives in, your moves for American old school, and the Nigerian influence that's coming, whether you ask for it or not. That guy is going to be dexterous.
We're going in December. I have no idea what to expect in Nigeria. I'm truly removing all control, and I'm just going to allow that to happen. But to get to watch this little, like, he'll be one at the time, year-old, like, baby in Nigeria, he'll never be the same, and I can't wait. He's getting the Bowmani experience.
Let me tell you what Nigeria is going to be for you, brother. Amazing. Now, you could be saying, gee, Bowmani, what do you mean by amazing? I mean everything that amazing could possibly mean. No matter what direction amazing goes in, no matter what connotation, Nigerians are amazing all the time.
Can I ask you number 4?
Yes.
I really wanted to ask you number 4.
Go for it.
A Wave executive calls you with an offer. Bayless and Bow. A new show with you and Skip. Analytics tell them that it could be the largest show to ever hit the internet. What's your number?
There is no number.
Everyone has a number, Bo.
I'll give you the number, but the number has to have a clause that I get paid no matter how many episodes Skip shows up for, right? So if you tell me $5 million, because look, you give me $5 million, I could quit, right? You give me $5 million, I'll do it. Now, you don't know the story. Some people out here know the story. I will tell the story. Back on when First Take used to do First and 10, before it was Skip the whole show, they would have Skip pop in 4 different times. You'd have 10 topics, right? And I finagled my way onto the show to be on there with Skip. And I'm not really that argumentative and like confrontational on the TV stuff. I told you about how I do the things on CNN. And so I wasn't trying to duke it out. Like, I didn't really feel like duking it out. I didn't want to do that. So I did that a couple times on the show. And they told me that, like, you know, they wanted like a little bit more. And I was just like, yeah, but you know, somebody else's show. Like, I'm very respectful of these things. So then one day I'm up there and somebody sent a tweet in. I think it was Derek Brooks sent a tweet in and asked Skip who his toughest debate opponent was. And he said, Greg Anthony. And I'm kind of joking. I'm like, oh, come on, Skip, I'm right here, baby, right here. And Skip looks at me dead serious and goes, Greg Anthony. Ooh. All right. And so I remember I walked around outside the campus and I asked myself, are we going to do this? Is this what we about to do? And you can't find the footage anymore online, mostly because it was just so long ago. I just held him up with one hand and just body punch after body punch with the other. I was out here flexing. I was out here doing like hood shit. I was doing everything. They got some wheelhouse topics for me where I was getting into it and Skip was jumping in. I'm like, nah, you ain't understanding it. And I'm looking right at Dana Jacobson and I'm laying that game right there directly in front of her. And I remember after that, Skip didn't say goodbye. He just left, and I had been coming once a month, and then the next month came, and they didn't call me about being on the schedule, and then I noticed they didn't call me the month after that, and then I called somebody who would know, and they said, yeah, Skip put the kibosh on that. Skip was like, yeah, I just don't really think it works with that guy. And I say all that to say, we could do Bayless and Bo, but it's only going to last maybe one episode.
Few things I took from that. Number one, I think the two biggest lies we've been told in our life is that, number one, when you're a child, you have a permanent record and you try to act perfectly, not to ruin this thing that doesn't exist. And two, I thought that I thought the internet was always going to exist. And I thought everything we always did would always be on the internet. And there are so many videos that I've loved that either I have made or people have made that do not exist anymore because people have cleaned their servers. And I really thought it was going to be this incredible log of all these moments. And now they're all gone. And we can't find them. And it really upsets me.
I did not realize how many things I needed to download. Like, I never thought that there would be a day that I couldn't look up me and Dan's interview with Ray Shremmerd. It never dawned on me that would happen. You are so correct.
Right, because it was everywhere for so long, and it was probably so easy to call up. And now, how do you get it?
You got any more questions, big dog?
Yes, I do. Okay, number 11 is just for you. An accountant was just taken number 3 in the NBA draft. And it's crazy because he looks like he should have been number 1. I'm talking about Reed Shepherd. For the first time in over 20 years, we could have a white cornerback starting in the NFL, Cooper DeJean. We have the phenomenon that is Caitlin Clark. We have the future number 1 pick in Cooper Flagg. My question, Big Brain Bowmani, is causation or correlation? What event happened around 2000 that could have caused all of this?
This is a great question, man, because like you're absolutely right. I'm looking at all the sports and you just want to start humming. Yeah, we tease them a lot because we got them on the spot. Welcome back. White folks is back. White folks is hooping again. White folks is backpedaling again. Summer. That's right. It's all happening. And by the way, you will notice across the board what all those white people have in common. They grew up in places with nothing but other white people. Think about that. Cooper Flagg is from Maine. Cooper DeJean is from Iowa. Caitlin Clark is from Iowa. Reed Shepherd is from Eastern Kentucky.
I watched Joe Burrow come into training camp with blonde hair. And I wondered, is this all related to Slim Shady? When he did 8 Mile, and they were like, you can do things that people don't think you could do. Does it all come back to that, Bowmani?
I had not thought about that. That is a great question because you're right. Did Eminem restore like the confidence of the whites? Did he give white people something to believe in that once they knew that white man could rap, you got to stop? Like maybe you could do anything under those circumstances. But once again, like I say, they all grew up amongst each other, right? There was no presence of blackness to make white people hack at the self-esteem of their fellow whites because it be your own people. You know what I'm saying? It be your own people. Wow. We need to find a way to talk to Eminem about this because like maybe we're not giving him enough credit. Now, this makes me ask a different question, though. Does this mean that this wave of white confidence is going to decline, we'll call it, 12 years down the line, because that is the appearance of Macklemore, which will then let white people go back to believing that all you got to do is show up.
Man, Macklemore catching strays. That was tough.
Hey, man, look, there's a whole bunch of them that could get it. Machine Gun Kelly. Hey, at least Macklemore ain't no quitter. Like, that's the thing about Macklemore and Eminem. They ain't quitters. Machine Gun Kelly, Post Malone, Everlast, bunch of quitters. They brought them guitars out, and they was like, oh, destiny has called me.